Zero is the most powerful number. It doesn't add to the noise. It defines the space where the noise dies. The Dark Strategist's axiom. Imagine your emotions on a linear scale. To the right, the positive integers, passion, joy, desire. To the left, the negatives, anger, grief, resentment. Most people spend their entire lives oscillating, swinging wildly from +5 to -5. They are predictable, they are variable. But then there is point zero. In mathematics, zero is the only integer that is neither positive nor negative. It is the origin. In the art of power, point zero is the state of absolute neutrality. It is the moment you reach a level of stoicism so deep that your internal nervous system remains as flat as a horizon line, even while the world around you is in chaos. In this episode, Nara deconstructs the psychological integer scale. Learn the elite art of point zero, a state of total neurological and emotional equilibrium. We explore how to achieve a level of calmness so profound that neither your nerves nor your gaze shift under pressure. This is the transition from being a variable to becoming a constant in the game of life. A man is as wretched as he has convinced himself he is, but the man at zero is beyond reach. Seneca. To reach point zero, you must master the biofeedback loop. Most people think they can hide their reactions, but their pupils dilate, their pulse quickens, or their gaze shifts by a fraction of a millimeter. True point zero is when the brain stops sending the signal to react. You aren't suppressing your anger or hiding your excitement. You have reached a state of divine indifference where the input, the insult, the praise, the threat, simply results in a sum of zero. Your eyes don't shift because there is nothing moving you. You are the fixed point. Why is point zero so terrifying to others? Because they cannot calculate you. If someone insults you and you get angry, -$3, they know how to hurt you. If someone praises you and you glow, $+3, they know how to manipulate you. But when you are at zero, you are a mathematical impossibility to them. You are a wall. They throw their energy at you, and it simply vanishes. In dark psychology, this is the black hole effect. By offering no response, internally or externally, you force the other person to spiral into their own insecurities. Most Stoics are fakes. They keep a straight face, but their heart rate is 110 beats per minute. Their pupils are dilated. Their amygdala is screaming. That isn't point zero. That is just a mask. Point zero is neurological stillness. It is the ability to decouple your nervous system from the environment. When you are at zero, your micro-expressions, those tiny shifts in the eyes or the corners of the mouth, vanish. Why? Because a shift in the eye is a search for data. When you shift your gaze, you are looking for an escape or a reaction. At point zero, you have already seen everything. You are the predator that doesn't need to blink because you are the apex of the situation. The greatest power is often simple patience and the total absence of a pulse in the face of crisis. Machiavellian maxim. Have you ever noticed that when you drop a stone into a well, you wait for the splash? Every human interaction is a search for a splash. When someone tests you, they are dropping a stone. They are waiting for you to move to +1 or -1. When you stay at point zero, there is no splash. This creates a terrifying psychological vacuum. The other person feels unheard, but more importantly, they feel unseen. By not reacting, you are silently communicating that their attempt to move you was mathematically insignificant. You have effectively deleted their effort. This is where the balance of power shifts. They will start overcompensating, talking too much, and revealing their own integers while you remain a mystery. He who is unaffected by both the bloom of the rose and the sting of the thorn sits on the throne of the world. Sufi wisdom. How do we train for this? We start with the external zero, the fixed gaze. Practice looking at a single point for 5 minutes without blinking. Your eyes are the windows to your integers. Lock them. The breath of the void. Breathe not to relax but to stabilize. A flat, rhythmic breath that doesn't change even if a door slams behind you. The logical filter. When an event happens, don't ask, "How do I feel?" Ask, "Where does this sit on the line?" Then mentally subtract that number until you hit zero. Point zero is not about being a robot. It is about being the origin. Everything starts from you, but nothing moves you. You are the stillness at the center of the storm. The world can scream, it can dance, it can burn, but you are the zero that remains when the calculation is done. In physics, the more mass an object has, the more gravity it exerts. In psychology, mass is replaced by certainty. A person who is constantly reacting, swinging from +5 to -5, has no psychological mass. They are like a leaf in the wind, easily blown by the opinions of others. Point zero is an anchor. It is a point of infinite density. When you sit at zero, people feel a pull toward you. It is a terrifying attraction. They will feel the need to confess things to you. Why? Because your lack of reaction acts as a vacuum that sucks the truth out of others. They are so desperate to see a ripple on your surface that they will throw their most guarded secrets into your void just to see if you blink. You aren't doing anything. You are simply existing as a constant. While they are exhausting themselves trying to find your frequency, you are silent, absorbing their energy, their data, and their power, leaving them depleted and you entirely unchanged. Let's apply the integer scale to a negotiation. Most people enter a deal at a +7. They are eager, they are smiling, they are showing buying signals. Or they are at a -4, they are nervous and fearful of losing. The master of point zero enters at 0. To the person across the table, you look like a stone wall. They cannot tell if you love the deal or if you are ready to walk away. This creates information asymmetry. Because they cannot read your number, they begin to bid against themselves. They offer more. They drop their price. They reveal their bottom line. You are a zero-G environment. In zero gravity, people lose their footing. They begin to float, to panic, to grasp for anything stable. And since you are the only stable thing in the room, they will eventually grasp for your hand, on your terms. We must discuss the flicker. A flicker is a moment where you almost hit zero, but a tiny piece of you escapes. A twitch in the jaw, a slight tightening of the throat, a shift in the eyes from the bridge of the nose to the left eye. In dark psychology, these are called leaking integers. To reach the elite level of Nara's point zero, you must develop a third eye, an internal observer that watches your own nervous system. When you feel a -1 of irritation rising because someone is being slow or stupid, you don't fight it. Fighting is an action, +1. Instead, you observe it into non-existence. You look at the emotion and say, there is a -1 attempting to enter the system. I deny it entry. You return to the breath. You return to the origin. You become a master of the static face, not a poker face, which looks tense, but a static face. It is the face of a statue, relaxed, beautiful, and utterly indifferent to the passage of time. When you live at point zero, the common world will find you haunting. You will lose friends who are addicted to your reactions. You will lose lovers who fed on your drama. You will find that many people only liked you because they could control your number on the scale. But look at what you gain. You gain absolute sovereignty. You are the only person in your world who is not for sale. You cannot be bribed with praise because +10 means nothing to a 0. You cannot be bullied with threats because -10 means nothing to a 0. You are the axis. You are the point of origin from which all other numbers derive their meaning. But you yourself remain undefined. You are the God point of your own reality. To be nothing is to be everything. To have no opinion is to possess the truth. To stay at 0 is to own the infinite. Nara. To achieve point 0, do the following at home. Spend 3 minutes a day looking at yourself in the mirror. You must not blink, and more importantly, you must not adjust your face to look better. Keep your expression entirely neutral, mathematically flat. In every conversation, answer only what is asked. Offer no extra emotional data. If someone asks, "How are you?" instead of a high-energy "great," simply say, "I am well," with a steady gaze. When someone is speaking to you aggressively or intensely, do not look into their eyes. Look at the bridge of their nose. It prevents you from catching their emotional contagion and keeps your internal state at 0 while appearing intensely focused. In the comments, I want you to type one word: constant. If you are ready to stop being a variable and start being the axis, let the world know that from this moment on, your splash is gone. I am Nara. Stay at the center. Stay at point 0.